Right, welcome class 7 for today's lesson. Today's English lesson, we are learning the use of the punctuation marks. And the specific punctuation mark that we are learning is the use of what we call the speech marks. The speech marks are also called the quotation marks. They are also called the quotation marks. Quotation marks. From the word itself, that is the word quotation, we get it from the word quote. And when we're talking about quoting, these are the exact words that have been spoken by somebody. Whenever you are writing and you want to show words that have been spoken by somebody, we use the speech marks. Somebody says something in a statement and you write it down. For example, I've just come in and said, today we are learning about speech marks. Number 1, today we are learning about speech marks. Speech marks. Can all of you read that statement that is on the board? That's very good. Today, we are learning about speech marks. These are the exact words that I have spoken. Now, when it comes to writing, you will want to show what was said. So what do we first of all do? We identify these words that were spoken. And once we identify them, you come back and quote them using now the speech marks. So we shall start opening speech marks. Opening speech marks. Today we are learning about speech marks. Once we get to the end of the statement that has been spoken, you put a comma. This is because this is a statement. It is not a question. It is just an ordinary statement. After the comma, you close using the closing speech marks. From there, you are supposed to state who spoke these words. Said the teacher. Said the teacher. And that is one way of using the speech marks. Number two, if we look at the same sentence, and instead of starting with the statement that was spoken, we decided to start with this other part of the reporting verb. Earlier on, we had already learned about the reporting verb. If we decide to start with this other part, for example, that is, the teacher said. Now, what are we supposed to do? Now, these particular words were not spoken by the teacher. They are just telling us who spoke these words. So we are not supposed to quote them at all. So what are you supposed to do? Once you are through with the reporting verb statement, you put a comma there. You put a comma. Then we go to the words that are spoken. Open speech marks. Open speech marks. Now we want to call these words that are spoken. Today, you start that statement with a capital letter. This one here, take note of that. You start this statement now with a capital letter. Today, we Today we are learning about speech marks. Once you are through with the statement that was spoken, learners, you put now a full stop. And from there, you close the statement. Therefore, the full stop should be inside the quotation marks. As you can see here, are we together, learners? I believe so. So, all punctuation marks, especially when it comes to the closing speech marks, here the full stop is inside. Here the comma is inside also. So therefore, it is important that you are keen in identifying which words are spoken so that you can put them exactly as they are supposed to be. Let's look at another example here of the same or different statements. Somebody may ask you a question. Where are you going? Where are you going? Who asked you? Asked mother. Asked mother. Therefore, this reporting verb asked already tells us that the statement that is there is a question. Aye, let's quote it. The exact words that came out of mother's mouth are this. Where are you going? Therefore, you need to quote them. Opening speech marks. Where are you going? Now we shall not put a comma as in our first statement, because this one is a question. You put a question mark. You put a question mark. And after the question mark, you close the same statement immediately after the question mark, because these are the words that were spoken. Then, who asked this? Asked mother. At the end of your statement, you put a full stop as required in English. So, therefore, you have to be very alert as you are looking at the words that were spoken. Most of us tend to forget the actual words because as you are reading the statement, you are not keen enough to see what was said. You end up putting everything in that statement, which is now wrong, which will be wrong. The reporting verb is supposed to guide you. What kind of statement was there? Was it a question? Was it just an ordinary statement? Was it an exclamation? For example, in the sentence number 4, you're going to have here, come here, ordered. Ordered the policeman. Come here, ordered the policeman. Now, by looking at this statement, we have the reporting verb ordered. And somebody can tell us, what does the word order show? Yes, the word order shows a command. And therefore, as we are quoting this statement of ours, we must show it that this statement is a command. Come here were the words that were spoken. Let's quote it together. Opening speech marks. Good. Come here. Therefore, after the statement, you put an exclamation mark. As you have learned in English, exclamation marks show commands, orders, and exclamatory ideas. After putting the exclamation mark, you close your statement. Then the reporting verb, ordered the policeman, and a full stop at the end of your statement. Therefore, learners, as you work on your speech marks, and how to use them, you should be keen enough to notice where they should be. We shall continue from there another time. Thank you.